Good day, everyone. We are here to represent the 7 correctional facilities or national prison in the Philippines. New Bilibid Prison. The New Bilibid Prison is located in Muntinlupa City, Philippines. Is the main insular penitentiary designed to house the prison population of the Philippines. It is maintained by the Bureau of Correction under the Philippines Department of Justice. The New Bilibid Prison is founded on January 22, 1941. As of October 2004, it has an inmate population of 16,747. The penitentiary had an initial land area of 551 hectares. 104 hectares of the facility were transferred to the housing project of the Department of Justice. Due to increasing crime, the Commonwealth Government enacted Commonwealth Act No. 67 and the new prison was built in Muntinlupa on 254.73 hectares of land in an area considered at the time to be remote. During Japanese occupation of the Philippines during World War II, Bilibid was a prisoner of war and civilian internee camp where American soldiers and civilians were held by the Japanese. 1,200 internees and prisoners of war were freed by the American Army on February 4, 1945, during the Battle of Manila.
Hi, I'm going to present to you the Davao Prison and Penal Farm in Panabo, Davao Province. Davao Prison and Penal Farm, formerly the Davao Penal Colony, was established on January 21, 1932 in Panabo City, Davao del Norte, Philippines. It has a land area of 30,000 hectares with a person's reservations of 8,000 hectares. Davao Penal Colony, also known as Dapicol, on December 20, 1941, the Japanese Imperial Forces attacked Davao, and the colony was among the establishments taken over by the invading army. Normal operations were inevitably disturbed and a great number of prisoners escaped. The remaining colony employees, their families, and the inmates evacuated to Iwahig where they organized the Davao Penal Colony at Inagawan Subcolony, Palawan. After the liberation of the Philippines, the colony in exile in Palawan returned to its old site in Davao. A great deal of rebuilding and repair had to be done because the war had almost completely destroyed the colony. 2,000 American prisoners were held in the penal colony after Japan's conquest of the Philippines in World War II. Some of the prisoners, survivors of the Bataan Death March, escaped in spring in 1943. When the 12 men escaped, later joining Wendell Fertige guerrillas, the Japanese beheaded 25 prisoners. Major Stephen Melnick of Douglas MacArthur's Southwest Pacific Area Command inserted the M1SX intelligence officer Captain Harold Consenquist into Mindanao in attempt to rescue the Americans before they could be moved. However, the Japanese had already evacuated the camp, placing the American prisoners on a ship bound for Japan. However, that ship was sunk by an American submarine and only 83 reached shore and were rescued by guerrillas. The Bureau offers a variety of inmate work programs, from agricultural to industrial. The purpose of the inmate work program is to keep the inmates busy and to provide them money for their personal expenses and their families, as well as help them acquire livelihood skills in order that they may become productive citizens once they are released and assimilated back into the mainstream of society. Inmates at the different penal colonies in the Philippines are employed to produce various agricultural products, thereby generating income for the Bureau of Prison. At the Davao Penal Colony, inmates work on banana plantations of Tagum Development Company, also known as Tadico. The vast tracts of land at the Hiwahig Penal Colony are developed and titled by inmates. Along this end, the Bureau under the present director has encouraged agricultural and industrial production by providing farming implements, tractors, fertilizers, and other inputs in order to sustain this area for rehabilitations for MNETs.
The Correctional Institution for Women. The Correctional Institution for Women is a women prison located in Mandaluyong, Metro Manila, Philippines. The prison is operated by the Bureau of Correction. How many hectares? The prison first opened on 18 hectares. When it was founded or created? On February 14, 1931, previously, women were held at the old Beloved prison. What law founded or created the prison? When the Philippines had the death penalty, female inmates condemned to death were held at correctional institution for women. Who is the important personality involved in that prison? The correctional institution for women has three different camps, namely the maximum security compound, which consists of the old and new building, the medium security camp, and minimum security camp.
Iwahig Prison and Penal Farm. Governor Luke Wright authorized the establishment of penal colony in the province of Palawan on November 16, 1904. This penal settlement, which originally comprised an area of 34 hectares, served as a depository for prisoners who could not be accommodated at the Bilibid prison in Manila. A prison facility was created by American military in the rainforest of Puerto Princesa. Lieutenant George Wolfe, a member of U.S. Expeditionary Force, was the prison's first superintendent. It is located 20 kilometers away from downtown Puerto Princesa, passing through Palawan, cherry trees, pine trees, and acacia trees along the way. That is 45-minute drive or 2 minutes in one of the country's most relaxing sceneries. It recognized as one of the largest open prisons in the world, with an area of 34 hectares, and is declared as a National Historical Landmark of the country in 2004. So the Iwahig is subdivided into 4 zones or districts. The Central Sub-Colony with an area of 14,700 hectares, Santa Lucia with 9,685 hectares, Montebello with 8,000 hectares, and Inagawan with 13,000 hectares.
Sablayan Prison and Penal Farm. It is nearer to Manila than the other penal colonies. The Sablayan Penal Colony is located in Occidental Mindoro and relatively new. It was established on September 26, 1954.
3 sub-colonies were later organized. One is a reservation, which this day remains part of a protected rainforest. Another is a coastal area. The third one was used by the national government as a relocation site for refugees from the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in 1991. Sablayan Prison is a facility where prisoners from NBP are brought for decongestion purposes. It follows the same colony standards as other penal farm. But unlike any other or the usual penal colony, the prisoners here are almost enjoying their freedom. Instead of being locked down inside concrete structures with metal bars, they can roam around the area without so much restrictions. They are also made to till the land area so as to have their own supply of at least basic food requirements for during their stay. Prisoners are also allowed to build nipa huts. And since it is a mix of different religions, churches and worship houses were constructed to cater various religions of the prisoners. Some inmates were also allowed to have their wife or husband to live with them inside the colony. This is evident by some playgrounds around the area. The panel provides an access road to vehicles from Sablayan going to Abra de Ilog Port.
Good day, ma'am. Good day, classmates. So, my name is Manuel Sagdong Compasan. So, for today's topic, we're talking about San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm. San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm. According to historical accounts, the San Ramon Prison was established in southern Zamboanga on August 21, 1870, through a royal decree promulgated in 1869. Established during the tenure of Governor General Ramon Blanco, whose patron saint the prison was named after. The facility was originally established for persons convicted of political crimes. The penal farm of San Ramon Prison is situated in the province of Zamboanga on the southern tip of large island in Mindanao. It covers an area of 1,160 hectares.
Hi, good day everyone. I am John Ray Galan. Our topic is about the San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm and the Leyte Regional Prison. First up, the San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm. According to historical accounts, the San Ramon Prison was established in Zamboanga on August 21, 1870 through a royal decree promulgated in 1869. Established during the tenure of Governor General Ramon Blanco, was a patron saint and the prison was named after. The facility was originally established for persons with convicted and political crimes, considered the oldest penal facility in the country. Prisoners in San Ramon were required to do agricultural work. During the Spanish-American War in 1898, the prisoners in the San Ramon were hastily released and buildings destroyed. In 1912, General John Pershing, Chief Executive of the Department of Mindanao and Sulu, classified the institution as a prison and penal colony, and therein confined people sentenced by the courts under his jurisdiction. Under Pershing's supervision, several buildings with a capacity for 600 prisoners were constructed. After several years, the colony became practically self-supporting with 75,000 coconut trees, which were planted at the beginning of Pershing's administration, contributing the colony's self-sufficiency. Aside from coconuts, rice, corn, papaya, and other crops were also cultivated. On November 1, 1905, Reorganization Act No. 1407 was approved, create Bureau of Prisons under the Department of Commerce and Police, integrating the old Bilibid Prison, San Ramon Penal Colony, and Iwahig Penal. The Philippine Coconut Authority took over management of the coconut farm from San Ramon. Second is the Leyte Regional Prison, situated in Abuyog, Southern Leyte. Was established a year after the declaration of martial law in 1972 by virtue of Presidential Decree No. 28. While its plantilla and institutional plan were almost ideal, of funds made the prison unable to realize its full potential, and its facilities are often below or compared before those other established penal farms. The LRP has an inmate capacity of 500. It follows the same agricultural format as the main correctional program in addition to some rehabilitation activities. So admits convicted offenders from Region 6 and from the National Penitentiary in Muntinlupa.
Good day everyone, I'm Manuel. I will be proceeding in the next question in our topic, Leyte Regional Prison.
Leyte Regional Prison, it has 800 hectares area inside the compound of the penal facility, was developed with an ecotourism to provide income to persons deprived of liberty, while reforming under the custody of authorities, and was founded or created
in martial law, established on January 16, 1973 by virtue of Presidential Proclamation No. 1101 and its operation through the issuance of a Presidential Decree 29. Personality involved in that prison was the correction officers.
That you have it, guys, the San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm and the Leyte Regional Prison. Thank you and God bless.